All right, so we're going to try out a yin practice today. So we will start in whatever version of Shavasana you would like, on your back or your belly, laying down or sitting. And as you make your way there, you can rest your eyes and make yourself as comfortable as possible. I'll kind of walk you through or talk to you about um, what yin is and how it's a little bit different than vinyasa, which is what we have been doing. Vinyasa is the flow, the movement from one pose to the next with your breath. It's a very active practice, and yin is a more passive practice, but just as effective and strengthening joints and connective tissue. Balance and flexibility in that way. So in a passive way. So poses are held longer, usually up to 4 minutes or longer, to really allow yourself to melt into a pose and work into that deep connective tissue, the tendons, the fascia, the joints, and so forth, ligaments. You continue to breathe throughout the whole practice, but the idea is that there's minimal to no effort. So in flow, you're reaching and you're rooting and you're really trying to push your chin forward in a forward fold towards your toes. Whereas in yin, you just kind of let gravity do the work. And there's no effort. So you just gradually allow things to melt. And that's the purpose of the longer holds, that the longer you sit in a pose, the more you'll notice you'll just kind of like start to fall into it. You'll like deepen into it without any effort. So that's just kind of a brief summary of yin. There's less talking, so I'll be more quiet so that you can really turn your focus inward and notice your body, notice your thoughts, and just kind of have your own experience and exploration, meditation through that practice. And then always know, just as with vinyasa, like I said, no effort, but also if you're holding a pose and you have extreme discomfort or pain, to pull out of it. But if it's just uncomfortable, not necessarily pain, then try to work through it, try to breathe through it and stick with it. But you never have to stay in it for the entire time if you really feel like you can't hold it. So we'll just take a few more rounds of breath where you are. One more round of breath. And then slowly, with as little amount as effort as possible, making your way up to a seated position. You can keep your eyes closed, or you can open them, lower your gaze, however you feel comfortable. And we'll move into butterfly pose. So an interesting thing about yin is all the poses have different names. So butterfly pose is what we know as bound angle or Baddha Konasana in flow. So you're just bringing the soles of your feet together and allowing the knees to drop towards the ground. And you choose where your feet are in relation to the rest of your body. If you bring them in close, or if you push them out a little bit farther. And just allow your hands to rest on your knees, finding length through your spine. You can stay seated upright, or if you would like, you can begin to slowly fingertip your hands forward and start coming into a forward fold. And then in Yin, because we hold these poses for some time, because this is only a 30-minute class, we can't do 4 minutes, so we'll most likely do more like 2 minutes. But the idea is don't go to your edge at the very beginning. Slowly work your way there. So maybe you just gently lower, and then after some time, you crawl forward a little bit more. And just allow yourself, let gravity do the work. And you can tuck your chin towards your chest and find some rounding in your back. Again, another difference between this and vinyasa, where we're trying to find length. You allow things to round in Yin. Allow yourself to let go. And just notice how that can relate to life off the mat as well. Just letting things go. Letting go of your control. Three more breaths here. And last breath. And from here, you can slowly begin to rise. And I'm going to turn the other direction on my mat. And walk your hands behind your body, your fingertips pointing towards your toes. Take your feet as wide as your mat, and then just windshield wiper, nice and slow, your knees from one side to the other as a counter pose from your fold. So again, taking things slowly, allowing yourself to move slowly, opposed from the rush of life. And then we'll make our way to half butterfly. So this time we'll bring our left sole of foot in towards our right thigh, right inner thigh. Right leg is long. No active flexing in the right foot. We're letting go. And then from here, again, finding a fold slowly over right leg. Not moving towards your edge to start with. Just slowly noticing your body and noticing that it begins to fall on its own. Allowing the neck to release, shoulders are soft. So this compression, this bone on bone that we do in the Yin Yoga is what breaks up that connective tissue, that fuzz that builds up from immobility, sitting at a desk, driving, being in these stagnant positions. This helps to break that up. Couple more rounds of breath here. And slowly again, make your way back up to a seated position, and we'll windshield wiper our knees one more time. So bring your hands behind your body and just slowly release the hips, rocking knees from side to side. And then we'll take half butterfly on the other side. So this time left leg extended long. And then inhale, sitting up tall. And exhale, slowly begin to fold over left leg. And so if we have a lot of flexibility, we may be tempted to go all the way and to walk our hands out past our feet if we can. But in Yin, we're trying to avoid that, trying to break that pattern of going to the max. And just giving yourself time. And sometimes it's nice if you're at home in the luxury of your home, just so you know, to even have less effort to use your props. So using blocks and pillows so that there's absolutely no work in the neck or the shoulder. So perhaps resting forehead on a block or a stack of pillows allows a little bit more of a release. And take one more round of breath. And then slowly make your way up. And one last time, windshield wiper the knees from side to side. So you always want to get the blood flowing again after holding poses. And then from here, we'll move into what's called caterpillar. We may know it as just a seated forward fold. So both legs extended long. And then slowly making your way to fold over both legs into a caterpillar. Again, if you have the luxury to have props, using blocks or pillows to support yourself. For example, I have a bolster pillow as well. So sometimes just putting it up at an angle and resting my head on it if you're at home, depending on where you need that support. A couple more rounds of breath. And last breath. And then from here, slowly make your way to a tabletop position. And we'll run through a couple of rounds of cow and cat, moving at your own pace with your breath. And Yin, this is called the cat's breath, cow and cat. So you can use it as a memory game to remember the different names between the two practices. And then after that comes to a close, we'll move into a bridge. So coming onto your back. If you have a support such as a block or a book, you can use that. If not, just your normal bridge. If you do have a support, taking it at either the first or second level, not going to the highest level. And just allow the weight of your body to melt around the support. And if no support, then this is a little bit more active for you. Just continue to breathe where you are. And again, notice your thoughts. So you may be thinking, you need to be moving, you need to be working, you need to be sweating. And just think about that. Notice if that serves you. A few more rounds of breath. And if you're not supported, always the option to come down and then come back up again. Last round of breath here. And then gently lower the hips back towards the earth. Draw knees into chest. Wrap your forearms around your shins and just give yourself a tight hug. Rock from side to side. Maybe draw circles or figure eights with your knees across the ceiling. And then when you're ready, you can roll up to a seated position and we'll move into a Sphinx pose next. No name change there, the Sphinx pose that you're familiar with. So elbows come underneath your shoulders. Your feet can either be hips distance apart, tops of feet towards the earth, or maybe take them out as wide as the corners of your mat. Palms are flat, fingers spread, and then just allow the navel to rest against the earth. Shoulders are down away from the ears. Option to stay here, or maybe just gentle circles or rocking from side to side with the neck. Maybe drawing half circles. Maybe tucking chin to chest and keeping active through the forearms. Trying not to fall into your shoulders, so trying to rise up out of the shoulders. A couple more rounds of breath here. So yin is the opposite of yang. Yang is our more active practices. Even bringing balance. And then from here, you can create a pillow by placing palm on top of palm and then maybe resting either left or right temple on your hands. And then drawing one leg up, rolling one knee up towards your elbow, whichever side you chose. Again, just a counter pose for that back bend that we did in Sphinx. Just a few moments here. And then you can slowly make your way back through table onto your backs. We'll move into banana asana. Little side stretch in our body here. So laying on your backs, we'll walk our right foot off right edge of mat, and then either bringing left foot towards to meet the right foot or maybe crossing left ankle over right. And then doing the same with the upper extremities. So reaching arms long overhead and then bringing our torso over towards our right. Maybe left hand comes on top of right, or maybe just beside each other. So creating this banana shape, opening our left side body and finding some compression on the right side. See if you can draw your attention to sensations in your body. One more round of breath. And then you can come back to center, draw knees into chest. Give yourself a hug. And then we'll take banana asana on the other side. So taking feet and arms over towards left edge of mat. Maybe inching upper back towards left side. And again, releasing any tension. Notice if clasping your wrists or your hands together causes you to kind of scrunch up your shoulders. See what you can do to release that tension and just allow everything to melt here. Creating space on right side body. One more round of breath here. And then slowly unwind. Again, draw knees into chest. Give yourself a tight hug. Rock side to side. Maybe draw circles or eights. And then bring your shins to be parallel with the ceiling from here. Option to open your arms wide into a T or cactus arms. And then on your exhale, allow your knees to fall towards your right. for supine twist. Gazes up or over left shoulder. And if you're at home and had your props again, to take away any effort in this twist, sometimes placing a block between the knees if you need a little support there, or underneath the bottom knee to allow more release. Next breath brings you back to center. Squeeze the knees. And exhalation allows the knees to fall towards your left, making the movements as slow and smooth as possible. No rush. And take a few rounds of breath here. One more breath. And then slowly unwind back to center. Knees come into the chest one last time here. Give yourself a squeeze. And then we've already made it towards the end of our practice. So if there's anything that you feel you need before your final resting pose, go ahead and take that now. Or if you're ready, go ahead and find your version of Shavasana. I know when I've taken a yin class, a full 60 to 75-minute yin class, afterwards, sometimes it feels like I left a massage. So knowing if you practice this at home to allow even more time. And just allow yourself to completely let go and rest in your Shavasana. And slowly invite movement back into your body. Knock your head side to side. Gentle massage for the back of the head. Take a big long stretch, arms and legs reaching in opposite directions. And rolling to your favorite side before coming back up to a seated position. Taking your time. Staying somewhere if your body calls for it. And if you're ready to close out the practice with me, then drawing hands to heart center, and just gently bowing forehead towards fingertips. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste.